to the channel, video number 4, and this one is all about the RS Dreamer, more specifically the RS Dreamer 2. I will be going into the RS Dreamer, the first one, just shortly, but get started with this one, and yeah, another video I've been looking forward to do. So this shoe came out earlier on this year, and to be honest, I wasn't a fan of the way it looked. Aesthetic wise, the yellow colourway, the red colourway, I wasn't entirely pleased with what they had brought out. I thought, I'm going to hold off and I'll wait in a colourway coming out that's a little bit more appealing in my eyes. So traction on this shoe, very similar to the traction on RS Dreamer. It's practically identical as the feather setup. It's also can be considered as being like a plant leaf, same kind of idea, stem running through the middle and all these veins coming off to the sides. It's pretty much a blade setup. However, the inspiration behind it, as you can clearly see, is a feather. Now, it works very well. I've had no issues whatsoever, just like any other trainer. The occasional dust swipe, nothing crazy. The actual rubber on both of them, it's nice and firm. The gum seems to be a little bit more firmer, and that is something that's probably going to be true without any gum trainer you buy. Now, one thing I would like to point out that has been translated from the first model, this area here, from kind of rocking on your side, if you're kind of trying to get past defenders, etc., or come to the kind of sort of traction when you want to come at a stop if you're kind of cutting past people or dribbling past. It's very similar to the one we found on the Clyde hardwood. That there was something that was introduced on this one first and then carried on through the RS Dreamer line. Now, that actual part of the traction is something that you would find in the KD setup from Nike. That part of it there, then on the KD goes rounded. So if you've ever tried on a KD 2, you feel like you rock a little bit, but when you actually start moving around the basketball court, it makes sense. You're always kind of on the front part of your foot. It worked really well, and on these, again, it works very well as well. That was actually inspired by the banking angle on a motorbike. So when motorbikes go around the corner, the traction they get on the side of the tyres going round. I'll try and get an image and I'll show you what I mean. But ultimately, that there, you're still getting traction even though you're kind of rolling on the side, the medial side of your foot. So that traction aspect is a very useful thing. However, I would probably use this for basketball. This I'd probably just wear for casual, and that's my intention for this one. The midsole setup is the same. It's Pro Foam on the RS Dreamer, and again it's Pro Foam here. It's come under a little bit of criticism in the past for being a little bit too firm, but I quite like that. I don't mind a midsole being firm. Some days you just kind of want something a bit more firmer. I tend to find that if I wear a boost trainer or something a little bit softer, my foot starts to ache a wee bit, and that's really, I've had an operation and stuff, I've mentioned that before, but even if I didn't, my foot still gets tired, and the reason for it is because your muscles are working quite a lot to kind of keep yourself balanced, because the midsole doesn't really provide much stability. So it is important to have a firm midsole. So for me, I didn't really see that as an issue, as a nice alternative to other shoes that I do own. In regards to the materials used, this one here, the RS Dreamer, was a kind of textile synthetic material, and it was nice. So you know that you could wear the trainer straight out of the box. There was no real issues with breaking in time. In regards to other materials used on that shoe, we've got a little suede panel here for lateral containment, and on the medial side we've got a nice bit of suede in there as well, and again it's got the detail of that lace that goes around the outside, and yeah, just a really nice kind of detailed panelling. That's actually translated across into the RS Dreamer 2. We have one here as well, and the lateral containment patch is still there, but it's made from leather. There is a little suede patch here on the side. Again, that's just for detailing. That's the thing about this shoe compared to the first model. The layering of the materials emphasises the features in the shoes. I held off, I waited for a more cleaner colourway coming out, and I'm glad I did, because this one is really nice. Very much a summer shoe. So in regards to what I was saying about the layering aspect, because of the layering of the materials, that has a knock-on effect with the sizing of the shoe. So I tend to go up half a size in this, because the layering materials creates a little bit less room in the inside round about the toe area. So I went up half a size in these ones and it paid off. Very comfortable, no issues with that. very much a soft leather material on the top. It is real leather, but again, it's the durability part of it is in question. It's that kind of soft material, but I've got a feeling it was scratched very easily. So yeah, I mean, the materials are premium on this. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like there's been a bit of effort put in there to make sure that the money you're paying, you're getting a good bang for your buck. So all good with that. Heel to toe transition. The RS Dreamer 1, it's got an ever so slight rock to it. It's not anything that's exaggerated compared to other models. RS Dreamer 2, yeah, still the same. It's not too bad. Leads into your step, but it's not anything over exaggerated, like I say. But because the midsole and the outsole is firm, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to bend your foot in that. So yeah, in regards to the tongue, synthetic, nothing fancy, does the job. A little bit of padding in there, probably could be a wee bit more thicker. The RS Dreamer 2, more streamlined shoe, because it's a low and not a mid, then it's definitely perfectly acceptable. One thing I would say is that these two logos here are pretty much identical, except the quality of the print and the material used there, it's a lot nicer. This one's a little bit transparent, but again, tongue does the job. Eyelets on this one has been reinforced with some sort of fused material. On that one, we've got a suede panel here for the lateral containment, like I mentioned. The lace goes through and it's all stitched down, giving it some sort of reinforcement on this textile material, which is really nice. And then this one here, that lace pulls on this lace that actually carries all the way around. You can see they've put a little bit of thought in the lockdown side of things, which is a really nice design feature as well, something a little bit different. And I think that is really what they were after in regards to this shoe. J. Cole is a creative artist, as we all know. He's regarded as one of the greats right now, and he'll probably be one of the greats in years to come. And they wanted to make sure that obviously it was something a little bit different, and they have achieved that specifically on the first model. I think the main issue with this model was the fact that just the midsole, you know, they thought it might be a little bit too firm. Now in this one here, it's the same, like I mentioned earlier. They still have this kind of detail and panels to give the shoe a little bit of depth, and that lace continues to run down, so the design language is carried over on the second model. They've not kind of deviated away from too much, and because of the midsole and the traction on the outsole is pretty much the same on that area there. I like it, you know, that they're kind of sticking to their guns. There's their natural evolution there. Do I prefer the mid to the low? Definitely not. I'm definitely a low type of guy, but the overall shoe design, I like it. Support and weight is something that is going to be a big difference. The RS Dreamer, it's not heavy, but you can definitely say it's heavier than say the All Pro. Maybe about the same as the hardwood, maybe slightly less. This one on the other hand, yeah, it's clunky, you know. This is definitely not a basketball trainer I would be using for playing in. I like to try and zip about the court if I could as quickly as possible. This would just slow me down. The colourways that came out for that, there were some really nice ones. The Mario, the Nintendo collaboration with some of the Mario games. That was nice. I think the Super Mario Galaxy one was probably the nice one, but I don't think that got released in the UK. It might have done. If it did, it sold out quite quick. The RS Dreamer 2, there's not been very many colourways. I think this is definitely the pick of the bunch, and it's really refreshing. I love the branding. So on all the back of these trainers at the moment, you've got Dreamer logos. You know, it's a really exciting time for trainers, basketball trainers should I say rather, that a rap artist who is a die-hard basketball fan, a true student of the game, shall we say, for him to now have his own signature shoe, to be involved with a brand who are invested into him as much as he is with them, it's great, you know. It's just the variety of shoes that have been coming out from Puma has been excellent. So Puma and J. Cole have actually released 4 shoes that I'm aware of. I think there's 4. I could be wrong. If there's not, and there's actually more than that, please leave a comment down below and I'll have a look at them. But we had the Clyde Hardwood, the Dreamville model. We had the Puma Sky Modern, which was the Puma Sky Dreamer, J. Cole's colourway, but then they released the Puma Sky Modern, which is just the regular colourways that came out. And then they released the signature shoe that I just spoke about there. It's nice, refreshing. I like the direction that Puma are going with it. And I want to say thank you to my friend John. John and I used to work at a retailer many years ago that will remain nameless, and we had many conversations about basketball, hip hop and things. It was actually John that introduced me to J. Cole, so thank you, brother. You've changed my life and cost me a lot of money. So yeah, it's really refreshing what Puma are doing in the basketball world, and with all these trainers coming out, it's just a really exciting time. The RS Dreamer is a great shoe, the first one. The second one, it's still a nice shoe, but I personally prefer the first model. The Clyde Hardwood Sky Dreamer, Sky Modern, I'll be doing more videos on them in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video just to kind of talk about this model and what they're doing with J. Cole moving forward. We hope to see this as a continuation and just the start of something big. More models coming out, different colourways, and yeah, it's just a really refreshing take on the basketball shoe. Aesthetically, the first one in my opinion is gorgeous. It's really nice. The second one, I still really like it, but again, just a little bit too clunky for my liking. I prefer the lows, so I don't think I'll be buying many more colourways of the second one. So that's it for the video. Just want to say a big thank you to the subscribers. People have been commenting down below, going backwards and forwards, chatting away. Really enjoying this experience, so again, I really appreciate it. If you could subscribe if you haven't done so already, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And until then, I'll get some more videos up as soon as I can as well.